Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm going to be doing 3 cards this morning in New Zealand, or you'll be watching this at another time, but thank you for joining me. This is Kaz Hurst. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and a cognitive behaviour therapist, and do a mix of card making, scrapbooking, mixed media and the therapies that go along with that. So today I am using a brand new stamp set, and it comes as a bundle because you have the dies to go with it. So it's called Forever Fern and Forever Flourishing dies. These dies I've already cut out, and I have a box full of gooders. I spent last night just sitting at the dining room table watching TV, just cutting some of these out for you to see. And what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to do a simple stamping card, a crafter's card, and then an avid crafter's card. I haven't practiced, so hopefully it will go well. And yeah, if you can subscribe to my channel, that would be fantastic. And let's get cracking. So I've put this sheet down so I know where I'm filming, and also I'm going to be doing some stamping off for this card. So we've taken an A4 sheet, cut it in half, and then scored it in the middle and folded it in half, and this is going to be our card. I've taken Old Olive, it's one of my favourite colours, and I'm also going to use terracotta tile this morning. And then we've got these stamp sets. So these stamps are the distinctive stamps, and you'll see in a minute they're beautiful. They just have so much detail on them. And yeah, let's get cracking with this one. So what I thought I'd do is, let me show you this first. These two go opposite ways, so they've made them one of each position, so when you are doing your composition you get to put one either side, so it's really cool. So I'm going to start with the Old Olive on these leaves, but what I'm going to do with these first ones is I'm going to actually stamp them off and then come on in quite close to the center, and then don't use that one. I want to go to my other one because I want to go the other way. So again, stamp, put some ink on, stamp off, and then come into the center. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is take this beautiful branch, and I don't know if you can see on the camera, but you can see it's shaded, and when you put the ink in, it actually adds a bit more ink to that area. These are padded stamps, so we don't need to put anything underneath them because they've got this rubber, so you've got your rubber backing, so that's what makes them so effective. And there you go. I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you can see the detail of that. It's just amazing. Stamp sets have come such a long way. Then what I'm going to do is go back in with this little one, and I'm going to try and just add a full stamp here like that, and then go back in with the other side and put in a full one there. Simple stamping is just about stamping. So what I've done is I've done a layer behind which I've made lighter and then brought the layer on top. Sometimes when you're doing this you need to cut out and fussy cut and then do on top, but I really liked the look of this, so that's really cool. Then what I'm going to do is add my colour through the sentiment, and this set, the sentiments on this set are amazing. So if I come back in, it says here, you can do this, which at the moment is really apt for us. Hello, love the font. Love and laughter forever after, which is what I'm using now, which I really liked. And then I don't know about some of you out there with the COVID thing and all the stuff going on in the world, and it's really sad, and we're stamping here so we won't go there, but to a friend that makes me smile, what a brilliant sentiment to use at the moment. So let's put that away. So I'm just going to refresh that, and we're going to put this quite close because what I want to do is have the words sort of in the flowers, the leaves. There we go. And this is terracotta tile, which is one of the colours from last year. Now I did that when I had this thought in my mind, but then I thought, well, I've got this colour here and I really liked this stamp set, this stamp from the set, and I just thought maybe, I haven't tried it yet, so I'm hoping it works. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to put that a bit of colour just at the top here, and all of a sudden you get a different. I'm going to stop there because simple stamping is about keeping it simple and not doing too much, and I'm an avid crafter and I like layers and all sorts, so I'm going to stop there because I think that is a card. So if you've not got time to make a card, or you're a beginner, just try using your stamp sets and just try playing around with them. Don't be afraid to stamp and stamp off on the sides like I have to get a lighter bit of colour. Just give it a go. So that's our first card, simple stamping. And I'm thinking that if you wanted to, you could take one of those other sentiments and stamp it inside. I usually leave the insides blank so that when I come to send a card, I can put either a happy birthday in there, or I can do to a friend, or I can choose the sentiment inside to match what I'm sending the card for. So that's our first card, simple stamping. Now let's move on to the next level of stamping. So the next level is for our crafters. And again, you take an A4 sheet, cut it in half and score it down the middle. I had some problems with my folding this morning when I was preparing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the red away because I'm only going to use the green for this one, but I'm going to close it because we are going to do some embossing. So what I'm going to do is emboss the sentiment this time. So we take our embossing buddy. So this is Versamark, and it is a clear. If you stamp this onto coloured card, it will give you a watermark look. But if you put it onto paper and then put your powder over the top, the powder will stick to it. So you just keep going until that's absolutely showing no missing bits, and you can see the black really dark. So I needed to put that down so I could see it. So you want to make sure that you've got a really shiny, because if you don't, there'll be some embossing powder left on there. So I'm going to leave that to dry a minute because I'm going to need to cut that and do that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing as we did earlier on the simple stamping, but we're going to add a layer to it. So this is a case that you can get from Stampin' Up to store things, and what I've got here is the brand new brass. That's called brass, and it goes with the World of Good suite. But look at that, I want those. And then what I've done is I did have them all separated out. I've got some white because I often think that white just really looks cool. And then we've also got some vellum. So what you're going to do is you're going to just lay some down like so. And then I'm going to bring some colour in using the stamped images. And so I've got some stamped ones already there, and I'm going to just put that along there. And then in the background, what I'm going to do is take so I've sort of seen where I've got that, so I take that off, and then what I'm just going to do is do some second time stamping. Stamp off and then stamp in. And it doesn't matter how it comes out, you just want a bit of a shadow in the back. And then I'm going to actually do a couple of these leaves the same way. Love that they've put two in going the either way. So I'm going back to here because what I want to do now is I'm going to be putting down the banner, and then the pieces that I've got, which I'll bring back into view, I'm going to tuck behind that banner. So let's take our scissors. Sometimes it's easier just to cut with your scissors and try and measure up. Right, so let's have a look at this. So I need to trim that top and bottom. Good. Yep. And then we'll just cut off the ends. Okay. Now the fun begins. We're going to put this on dimensionals. And what you want is you want them along the bottom, because when you thread your stems through, you want to be able to thread them through the top. Then we're going to put this on here. So just bring it down, just give it a border. There we go. Right. Now the craziness begins because we need our glue, and we're going to start building. Right, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim this up. So you could do a banner by just going in there and chopping either side. I'm just going to keep it straight for today. And I'm actually going to glue this on top because we've already got dimensionals under it. And I'm going to add a bow with my glue dots. And what I do is I spend a little bit of time making, what's going on? I spend a little bit of time making my bows off camera, so I can get them the size I want and get the edges like this. So for those of you that are a bit more experienced at crafting and a bit more experienced at doing our Stampin' Up or any sort of craft, that is for you. What I've got here is I've got a sheet for my embossing and a backing. I've got a backing for my front of my card that goes on there. So we're using Old Olive and Whisper White cardstock. I've got an A4 cardstock, cut in half and then scored in half again, and again I'm going to put a piece inside of this. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue my inside together. And I've used a tiniest little border, so it's an 1/8 of an inch gap all the way around, or I suspect looking at that is about a mil or two. I will put all the dimensions and what I've used on the YouTube that I put up. I put it in the content, and then that goes in there like that. So there's your inside ready to go. And then we're going to put the front in the front. This glue is quite strong, so you don't need too much. So there is my card ready. So when you have a brand new stamp that you've never used before, ink it up, stamp it off a few times. Then take your cleaner, which I've left inside the house, so I'm going to use a baby wipe and a paper towel, and then stamp again. So it's actually worked first time, very good, which I like that it's worked first time. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they just need, I don't know, there's sometimes there's an oil over the top that's in the production, and you just need to stamp it off and wash it off. So I'm going to put this in the middle of my card. To a friend that makes me smile. Yes, I definitely will be making some more of these because in this difficult time. There are definitely some friends out there that have definitely been helping me smile. Right, so that is now the card ready for the last layer. So I'm going to put that to one side. This is our layer. So we are going to do what we did with the crafter, but we're going to just put some more elements on it. We're going to make it a bit thicker and some more stamping. So these are the die cuts. So I've cut out in Old Olive, I've stamped in Old Olive, and then I've used the new brass foil sheets to cut out as dies. So the nice thing about doing it in front of the television is that you can get this huge box that I'm taking from, and you can just go for it. And as you can see, I really like this one, but I did some of the other ones in that. I'm going to bring in some white. So put some colour in, then put a contrast in, put some plain over the top. We've got a gap over here, so I'm going to put some of these in. And again, I'm not worrying about going off the page. And I've kept this quite simple, as in I've only chosen one colour, but you could see the opportunities to stamp these in lots of different colours. You know, some blackberry bliss or some of the new colours. I'm loving it, and you can see how I'm using this is a pit that you cut out, and I wasn't sure what it was for, but what I'm thinking it's for is to just add a bit of detail to finishing off that, or it's for just, you know, adding another dimension in, or it's for putting at the bottom of the sentiment. But I really like that. I think it might be that. Okay, so the other thing is with this is that it's going to take a bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the camera while I'm fitting. I'm going to use some dimensionals on some of these and stick some down, and I'm going to come back to you once this is all done. What you do will be very different to what I do. I'm just, you know, making it up as I go along, but just enjoying the process of making it up as I go along. And don't forget, you're going to have your banner along here, so putting that back in, look at the difference. So I need something in here too. Put that to one side to dry. Okay, we're going to use our sentiment, our Versamark, the embossing buddy, and my black again. So here we go. Shiny. I'm going to actually, using my scissors, just cut along here because I don't like the height there. So straight lines, nah, I'm liking that. Right, so this time I'm going to put this on dimensionals. Oh, hang on, I've missed a bit, so let's leave that to one side. We've got some new ribbon. And what I want to do is bring back this bit, because I want to put the ribbon around here and put it on the back. So I need to put that there, because what I'm going to do is put the ribbon straight across and put this underneath here, because that will go on the other card. So I just need to make sure I've got enough. So, and then put that to one side again. The best thing to do is not to put your tape on here, put your tape on where you're going to put it. And I'm using the old rollers, and we've got some new ones come out, so I'm going to put this here. It doesn't matter if the glue is sort of on the outside, because what you can do is either rub it with your finger and it will roll off like that, or because we're putting this on the top, you will lose some of that glue. And what I've done is made a bow off camera because it takes me so long, and I'm happy with that, but I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet, so I've left it quite long to cut it later. So we've got our elements done. So what we're going to do is put this down here like that, and then take the bit that I've now lost. Interesting. Yes, we did lose it, but fortunately it was in the box at the side, so I was able to find it. Now, I'm not sure about that. I think it's going to land behind. I don't think it'll go up there, so I think that will go in there and just be a little detail that gets sort of hidden, because I actually prefer that. So again, as a crafter, you don't always know how something's going to turn out, but you just play with it and you give it a go. And what I'm recognizing from my bit is I want something here now, and it might be that it's the bow. Ooh, maybe that goes on there, and yeah, and then that goes there, and then I just cut the ends off short. Here we go. You see, we got to there. Right, so as soon as we're there, I'm going to take an edge piece, because it's just really the right size and shape, and put that on there like so. We're going to take a glue dot and put the ribbon on there. It's still a bit gluey. And pop that in there. Squinky. And I'm going to cut off the ribbon so it's a bit shorter. Oh, I've just got these out of the drawer, and wow, I think I'm only going to use them for ribbon. My scissors the other day just made such a mess of the ribbon. See, I'm not a ribbon person. There we go. And then I'm going to put this on a dimensional. Like so. Then I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to put some tape around it down here, and just pull those across. I might just cut that bit off, because sometimes a little piece like that can be really useful. Okay, so that's that, and then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of here. So again, using your leftovers, I can put a whole piece down there. Oh, don't run away. Let's put that there for now. And what I'm going to actually do is come into a pack that I'm already using and just snip off the end, and then see if I can just take that bit off. Oh, perfect. Take that one over there. And when you're putting when you want something to look pop a lot, sometimes using the small dimensionals just takes forever. So this is a good way to use up those scraps. And, right, so I will fast forward this so you don't have to watch me taking all this off. We bring back our prepared card. We've stamped inside, we've got the front ready, and again I've done a very small border because I just wanted it to, excuse my head, I'm not very good at lining things up. There we go. And I hadn't got a recipe for this, as we call it, and I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I think that is amazing. But one last thing, because I do this, I'm going to take a bit of my greenery and just pop it in there, because I just think with the green around there, it just needs something in the center. And this is what is really cool about this process, is that you can keep checking it out and watching, and all of a sudden, there you go. Now I'm really happy with that. I'm going to stop because oh, this just rolled onto my desk. Wink of Stella. Wow. Let's just put some Wink of Stella in here. Now this is awesome stuff. This is clear, and what it will do is just add a bit of shine to some of these things. And you won't be able to see it on camera, but cool. Here we go. I will put some photos up of the 3 cards together so that you can see. So thank you for watching. We have done a simple stamping, a crafters and an avid crafters card using the Forever Fern stamp set and the Forever Flourishing dies. These are a bundle. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.